Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to just give everyone about 5 minutes as everyone trickles in, but we will get started in about 5 minutes. So just for everybody who has joined us, thank you so much. Again, my name is Sergio Escobar. I work at New York City Public Schools. However, I do a lot of work with the Men Teach program from all of the CUNYs. If you can, there is a questions box at the bottom. Now, typically, I do have people here with me who answer these questions as the event is going on, but that isn't the case today. But it does mean that I'll be able to see the questions and answer them at the end. But if you have currently any questions or you just want to let me know, where you're coming from, if you're already enrolled in a CUNY school, if you're looking to enroll in a CUNY school, or even if you're already enrolled in Men Teach, just let me know. I'll see your name and just, where you're coming from. And again, we'll start at about 5:05. And again, for anybody who just joined us, we are going to be starting at 5:05, just letting a couple of people trickle in here. I did see some people type in the chat, a lot of schools being represented currently. I did see BCC, I did see Brooklyn College, Queens College. So, thank you to everyone for joining. All right, let's get started. It is 5:05. Again, my name is Sergio Escobar. I work at New York City Public Schools, do a lot of work with the Men Teach program and the CUNY schools, a lot of the program managers. Not sure if you're familiar with them, but this is a great program that I love being a part of. I love, interacting with all of the program managers from the Men Teach program at the CUNY level. So with, no further ado, let's get started. So before we begin, I did mention before, there is a Q&A function where you're going to be able to submit feedback, questions and ideas, anything that comes to mind throughout the session. Usually we have somebody who is monitoring the chat right now. We don't have anyone, so it'll just be me. So you can type in your questions, but they will be answered at the end of the presentation. Not too long, about 30-ish slides. But we'll have a lot of time for questions and try to get everyone out of here around like 5:45-ish. You'll receive a recording of the webinar after it's over. So if you did register with us, the email that you registered with is going to be getting this recording. And there are a couple of QR codes that I sprinkled in there. If you have a smartphone, you are able to screenshot the QR code, and then from your Photos app, click and hold it, and it'll bring up that QR code as well. That's something that I learned pretty recently, so pretty cool feature if you have a smartphone. Right, so this is the agenda, what we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering what Men Teach is, how the Men Teach program supports you throughout your time as a CUNY student. We're going to talk about the transition into New York City Public Schools and what that looks like, the benefits of working at New York City Public Schools, and some resources that you can use right away. So let's start out answering the question, what is New York City Men Teach? Well, Men Teach is about representation in education, ensuring that students have role models who reflect their communities. We do this through a strong partnership across city agencies and universities. So if you're reading the slides, it was a citywide initiative to recruit and retain men of color in teaching. That was started by Bill de Blasio when he was mayor. That goal that he set was met in about 2 years. And because the program was so successful, it is still being funded to this day. It has expanded. Anybody can join the program. And again, it's funded through the Young Men's Initiative, which is funded through the mayor's office. So, like I said, the New York City Men Teach program is supported by 3 agencies. The first one is YMI, the Young Men Initiative. It was launched in 2015 with the goal of bringing 1,000 men of color into teaching. And like I said, in about 3 years, it did meet that target, and it grew into an ongoing effort to shift representation into New York City classrooms. Then you have CUNY. CUNY, or the, where all of the public colleges fall under. CUNY serves as the backbone for recruitment and support. So across 16 campuses, Men Teach participants benefit from financial aid, certification vouchers, books, Metro cards, culturally responsive seminars to grow into effective community connected educators. So really prepping you for your next step in your career. And then finally, you have New York City Public Schools, and this is where students put their education and experience in from the CUNYs into the biggest teacher workforce in the country. So overall, New York City Men Teach is a cross-agency collaboration. YMI is our main funder. It drives engagement and policy support. CUNY ensures the pipeline is strong with well-prepared teacher candidates, and New York City Public Schools manages hiring and retention of the alumni from the Men Teach program. And together, these partnerships form a dynamic ecosystem working to diversify and strengthen the educator workforce in New York City. And again, New York City Men Teach is more than a program. It's a full support system designed to help you succeed from your first day at CUNY to your first day in a New York City classroom. I do know that for some people here, it might have been their first day of school. I know my brother-in-law started his first day at Kingsborough Community College, so shout out to them. Hopefully he is going to get involved into the Men Teach program if he pursues education, but I definitely would want to get him in there. So first, you're going to be paired with mentors who have walked this path before. experienced educators who can guide you through challenges, answer questions, and open doors to opportunities. The program will also help remove barriers by offering financial support. This includes certification exam vouchers. For those of you who don't know, a lot of these certification exams cost anywhere from $150 to $200, and you have to take about 2 to 3, sometimes maybe even 4 of them, depending on your certification. But the Men Teach program does cover those examinations, and they do give you the voucher when you're ready to get certified in teaching. It even goes as far as giving you resources to cover study materials. You'll also gain access to professional development that goes beyond the classroom, workshops on culturally responsive teaching, networking events with school leaders, and guest speakers who inspire and inform. New York City Men Teach also offers support for your certification exam, like I mentioned, but not just the certification exams, any webinars to help study for the exam. They do their best to make sure that you're prepared once you enter the exam room. At the heart of it all is a peer community, a group of like-minded future educators who will encourage you, collaborate with you, and celebrate your wins. We focus on career readiness so that when you graduate, you're not just qualified on paper, you're confident, prepared, and connected to schools that need you the most. And again, every CUNY campus does have every CUNY campus that has an education program does have a Men Teach cohort within the campus. Again, if you're not sure who your Men Teach program manager would be, drop a message in the chat and I will connect you with that CUNY manager. So drop the school name and then I'll let you know, or I'll share your information with them specifically. A lot of events are done throughout the year for the New York City Men Teach program. This is just an example of some of the programs and some of the events that we had. It's a mix of professional development events, networking events, a lot of fun events, but just to kind of show the community that you'll be joining once you join the Men Teach program. Now, how do you join Men Teach? Well, for this semester, the application does open up around this time. So the deadline is actually on September 12th for this year. You can join the Men Teach program directly through your CUNY campus manager, or you can scan the QR code above and submit your information, and you'll be contacted by the campus's program manager. Now, again, because you're here, one of the benefits, starting already, is that if you're really interested in the program, again, drop your campus in the chat. I will save that afterwards, and then I will connect you directly with the program manager. So still submit this application, but the program manager will know to keep your email and your name in mind and reach out to you directly as well. All right, and I'll go back to this if you need me to. Just drop it in the chat once we're done with the rest of everything else. Now, I want to talk about navigating, during graduation season and even after graduation season. So New York City Men Teach is designed to guide you from student to teacher without feeling lost along the way. So you'll start by joining the program at your CUNY campus. From day one, you'll have access to the resources that I mentioned before that make completing your degree a lot smoother, everything from exam preps to mentorship. And then we'll prepare you for your certification requirements like the EAS and the CST exam. So, and when you're ready, you'll have direct access to hiring events, job postings, and school leaders actively looking for teachers. On top of that, the team will work with you to refine your resume, sharpen your interview skills, and connect you with schools that have the highest needs, meaning that you can make an immediate impact in the communities that need you the most. So by the time you graduate, you won't just have a degree, you'll have a clear path and the connections to step right into your first classroom at New York City Public Schools. Now, I do want to talk about the benefits of teaching at New York City Public Schools. For one, you make a difference in the lives of New Yorkers. You develop leadership, we're developing the leaders of tomorrow when you're working with the students here at New York City Public Schools, and you're focusing on building a better future and building relationships with colleagues dedicated to a shared goal. So you'll be joining a network of over 70,000 teachers, and that might be over 80,000 at this point. Now, something I do want to mention as well, starting salaries for teachers. When you join New York City Public Schools, you're able to join with just a bachelor's degree and your teaching certification. You do have to get your master's after 5 years, but you can start teaching with your initial certification once you graduate. So starting salary, and this is for starting September 14th of 2025. The starting salary is going to increase to $68,902. And if you're currently in the graduate program, it's going to start at $77,455. Now, again, because you are, when you join New York City Public School, you are joining a union. So these rates are negotiated by the union, and they do increase every year as the union contract, continues on. Right now, the raise is up to 2027. So even these numbers, potentially a couple of people that are here, these numbers are going to be outdated by the time you graduate and will be significantly more. So definitely take a look at the QR code with the salary schedule and scroll down to the year that you're going to graduate, just so you can kind of see. Again, it only goes up to 2027, I believe, because that's the last year negotiated in the contract. But contracts are, negotiated towards the end, and usually get figured out pretty, depending on. I just want to say also, the Office of Teacher Recruitment and Quality, which is where I'm from, we can't predict your direct starting salary based on your experience and any educational attainment. You do have to apply for a salary differential. That might sound a little bit confusing, but there are some resources at the end that I can speak to you more about to get more information about starting salary. So I do want to talk about this slide that looks ahead to what your salary would be in the future at New York City Public Schools. And again, these are just the numbers for 2025. It's going to increase when you go into 2026, increase go into 2027 and beyond. But if you are a teacher right now who has 8 years of teaching experience and they have a master's degree plus 30 additional credits on top of that, they're currently making $103,291. Now, if you have 15 years of teaching experience at New York City Public Schools specifically, and your master's degree plus your 30 credits of professional development courses, you're at $123,939. So definitely room to go up in the pay scale. And I am going to talk a little bit more later on about additional opportunities as well to make money as a teacher. I'm going to pause here for a second. The first QR code is for UFT resources. The UFT is the United Federation of Teachers, which is the teachers union. You can find the salary schedule and a couple of different benefits information there as well. The middle is New York City Public School resources. That'll take you to our page that can give you more information. And the right is the salary webinar recording. That goes in detail about the salary steps and the salary differential process. That is a webinar that I hosted. So if you're not tired of my voice, you can scan the QR code and watch my recording of that session as well. I also want to talk about benefits. When you join New York City Public Schools, because you are in the union, you get a comprehensive health plan. You get dental insurance, vision insurance, prescription drug insurance, and a lot of these plans require no employee contribution. There are also annual retention bonuses that are negotiated by the UFT contract during your first year, and they increase every year as well. You're also enrolled into a pension plan for retirement, which is the TRS, which is the Teacher Retirement Service or Teacher Retirement System in New York City. And you also have additional retirement savings plans like the TDA, which I go into the salary webinar. Now, New York City Public School employees are eligible for many additional benefits, including commuter benefits, so pre-taxed MetroCard benefits, a college savings program, employee discounts on everything from technology and media to travel and education. You get scholarships, financial incentives, and other special programs that could also be available for employees who are looking to continue their education and get their master's. There are also loan forgiveness programs. This is just one of the more popular ones, which is the Federal Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. It's not directly offered by New York City Public Schools, but it is offered by the federal government and New York City Public Schools does fall under the category to be eligible for this program. So again, scan the QR code to get more information specifically on that program. And again, just a reminder, if you're just joining us, please continue to drop questions. I'm going to go through them at the end. Right now, I don't have anybody who is able to answer them as I'm speaking. So one thing that I want to mention is your first week at New York City Public Schools. We have something called New Teacher Week. New Teacher Week is an annual event where new teachers can get inspiration from special guest speakers, learn about key policies, engage with UFT members, network with your fellow new teachers, whether they're coming from a traditional program, the Fellows program, or anywhere else. We also have school-based mentoring. So new hires with an initial or a Trans B license, they're assigned an experienced and trained mentor teacher to support professional growth throughout your first year. You're also added to our first class newsletter, which is a monthly digital bulletin for first year teachers that spotlights vetted resources, teaching tips, and answers to common new teacher questions. Now, teachers in New York City Public Schools, no matter where they are in their career, also have access to professional development opportunities at their school, including coaching, professional development days, and after-school learning opportunities. In addition to school-based supports, optional developmental opportunities are made available by various teams, including New York City Public School offices and the UFT. And we also offer digital resources for busy teachers to find resources for their classroom and regularly stay connected to opportunities to extend their learning and impact. So I want to talk about teacher leader opportunities. These opportunities go more in detail at this QR code that we have here on the right, but the teacher leader responsibilities can potentially earn an additional $20,000 per year on top of the current salary. There are some requirements that are needed for each of these positions: model teachers, master teachers, and the peer collaborative teachers. But some of the responsibilities include leading a laboratory classroom, facilitating professional collaborations, coaching peers and colleagues, advocating in leadership conversations. And not every school is going to have these opportunities open, but you will be able to look for any opportunities for these positions on the website once you're a public school teacher. Beyond salary and career ladders, New York City Men Teach and New York City Public Schools also provides anchor supports. So this is where you fall into after you graduate from your CUNY and go into New York City Public Schools. So the anchor supports is the unique approach to building teacher longevity and belonging. So one of the most important supports are professional affinity communities, or PACs. These are peer networks that bring together educators who share similar identities, backgrounds, or goals. They provide mentorship, networking, and professional development, while also creating safe spaces for dialogue, connection, and support. In addition to the PACs, we offer ongoing professional development, leadership opportunities, and recognition and community events. These supports ensure that you're not isolated, you're part of a powerful network of educators who share your mission and will walk alongside you in your journey. And one thing that I do want to point out is that last one, the alumni support and networking. So once you graduate and once you're in New York City Public Schools, the support doesn't stop there. We have the program managers that are constantly reaching out to the alumni, seeing if they're needing any support. Recently, we had a project this year where myself and another colleague on the CUNY side we're reaching out to alumni who graduated from the program, but for one reason or another didn't get into teaching or weren't able to get certified, whether it was because they couldn't afford to take the certification exam again or other barriers that they might have had. But we reached out to them and were able to get a couple of them certified even after they had graduated from the program. So the support doesn't stop once you graduate. It's a continuing, continuing support that the program gives to you. So kind of similar to what I spoke about before with the teacher leader opportunities, these are the opportunities that you would have once for the New York City Men Teach anchor supports. So New York City Men Teach community members are exposed to and offered multiple career development opportunities and leadership roles through different programs. Anchors enter New York City Men Teach and build skills for leadership roles within the community. So New York City Men Teach leaders build skills for the New York City Public Schools career pathways. So your first year, you're an anchor or a mentee. So meaning you get assigned at this point, because the program has been running successfully for so long, a lot of the mentors that you're getting were once anchors or mentees from other teachers. So you would be connected with them in your first year to become to get that mentorship, whether it's from the school that you're in or another school, but you'll find ways to connect. Then year two, you become a senior anchor. That's when you support the facilitation at the PACs. And then your third year, you have the opportunity to give back and become a mentor or ambassador. And these are paid opportunities. You get paid the per session rate, which I think, again, increased this year. It's about $60 an hour for that per session rate. And again, that also goes up with the contracted time. Now, building on those affinity communities, the anchor program is how we structure those supports into your professional growth. Now, for the requirements, we ask all members to actively participate in the PACs. And again, this is once you're a teacher at New York City Public Schools. We ask that you actively participate in PACs, attend community gatherings, join virtual workshops, and take part in one-on-one coaching or mentorship. You'll also complete a teacher commitment form that affirms your dedication to the profession. And then the benefits, in return, you'll receive per session pay. You'll strengthen your racial literacy, leadership, and instructional skills. These experiences not only help you thrive in the classroom, but make you more marketable to principals and school leaders. So in short, the anchor program is where community support meets professional development. It's designed to help you grow as both a teacher and a leader. Now, I also want to talk about finding your fit. And potentially there's a lot of students here who aren't committed to a specific major, or maybe they don't know what subject area they want to get into, but they know they want to teach. So one thing that we like to emphasize is, currently at New York City Public Schools, all New York City teachers must hold a valid teaching certification from the New York State Education Department. Most of our applicants have already earned their certification or will have it by the time they plan on teaching full time. If you're currently enrolled in a CUNY and you want to, again, I'm sure everyone here wants to become a teacher in one subject area or another, the program managers really help guide you in becoming certified and making sure that you have all your ducks in a row once you're ready to graduate and become certified. And once you become certified, everyone completes the New York City teacher application on teachnyc.net. Right now, we're actually in the last month of that application. It's open usually anywhere from January to the end of September. And then, everyone starts getting hired throughout that time once they apply, and then it reopens up again every, late December or early January. And I just kind of want to show you the application process when you do apply at New York City Public Schools. So you're going to create a common profile. You're going to complete the teacher application where you put in your credentials and your certifications. Then the New York City Public Schools, a team reviews your application, and then the application is entered into the new teacher finder. Once you're in the new teacher finder, you can begin job searching at New York City Public Schools. You can start seeking out principals. Principals can start seeking you out. It's kind of new teacher finder is kind of like a networking platform where you're able to look at schools that have needs in your subject area, and principals are able to look at your name and look at your profile and see where you're looking. Now, while we do hire across all certification areas and backgrounds, I do want to highlight that the current hiring priorities, these are the current hiring priorities for New York City Public Schools. So these priorities do shift year to year just based on the needs of our schools. If candidates or anybody here is not yet certified, or you're considering adding an extension, or you don't know what major you want to major in or what subject area you want to major in, these are the areas currently where the principals will be hiring and where there is a high demand for more teachers to be certified. So, I encourage you to consider one of these areas where teachers are in high demand. If you have an extension or another certification in one of these subject areas, you can leverage that to increase your job prospects as well. And again, just to recap, to find the right position, some of you might not even be in this part of the process, which is completely fine. But you want to research schools online, conduct outreach to schools directly. When you're looking for your jobs, you can use the new teacher finder, network with colleagues, professors, and friends, which is also why it's important to network at in your campus currently with the program managers, with other members of the Men Teach program. Some of them might know principals in certain areas that you want to work with, that you want to work in. I know someone here mentioned that they're in Queens College. Maybe there's a school around Queens College that you want to work in that the program manager has a good relationship with. So you definitely can get benefits from there in just the networking aspect, and make it a lot easier for you to find a job. And again, just talking about the new teacher finder, same thing. Some people, I will say, are shy. Networking isn't their strong suit, which is completely fine. Wasn't really mine in college either, but the new teacher finder does make it easier, where you can just upload your resume and teachers can find you, and you can find teachers, and you can reach out to them directly. And I did mention this before as well, the Online Support Center. So there's a bunch of articles that cover working at New York City Public Schools, certification, onboarding process, and more. So if you're interested, again, scan the QR code that's here, that's displayed on here, and it'll take you to that Online Support Center. It is 24/7 support. If you see here, there is a keyword search that you can look up a specific article. If for whatever reason, somehow we haven't thought to create that article, on the top right, you'll see contact us. If you click that, that is monitored by a live person. You can submit a question and a live person will get back to you and answer that question for you. And I do ask that you follow us on social media, our LinkedIn, New York City Public Schools, and New York City Men Teach. The Facebook page, Teach NYC and NYC Men Teach, and the Instagram, Teach NYC_official and NYC Men Teach. We were very lucky to get NYC Men Teach across the board for all of our socials. Not so lucky with New York City Public Schools. All right, so I am going to answer any questions that you may have.